exactly do we cultivate self-worth? There's a lot out there now in media and online about loving yourself and owning your power and knowing your self-worth. But what exactly does that really mean? We're gonna talk about it in this video, and at the end, I'm gonna share with you the one essential thing that you need to understand if you wanna cultivate self-worth. So self-worth, self-esteem, self-compassion, they all sound really similar, but they actually are a little bit different. So self-worth really encompasses everything: self-respect, self-confidence, self-acceptance. And when you have true self-worth, that belief about yourself is independent from external factors, meaning that you don't need to be validated by other people or outside sources to really feel it. Sometimes when we get caught up with feelings of shame, guilt, and self-doubt, it overshadows our self-worth and feel like maybe you are not deserving of certain things, or maybe you deserve bad things for some reason. And self-worth is not always intrinsic. It's not something that everyone just has. Sometimes we have to teach ourselves about how to have self-worth. So I think it's important to understand that you are a human being and you should give yourself grace. You're not always gonna feel 100% all the time. You're not always going to feel super confident and have high self-esteem. You're not always going to feel great about yourself, and that's okay. That's part of being a human. The amazing thing though is that when you do develop a deep sense of self-worth, it will change the way that you live your life. So how do we create a life that supports our self-worth? So just like any skill that you would want to develop, it all starts up here. Everything that you do in life, from the place that you live, to the people you hang out with, to the way that you dress, to the way that you eat, to the way that you speak, to the way that you behave, everything starts up here. A lot of what we present on the outside is how we feel about ourselves on the inside. And there's not to say that anything is wrong with you if you are not in the place that you want to be, if you don't look the way you want to look, if you don't act the way that you want to act right now. That's okay. Like I said, we are all human beings. We're all growing and learning and changing, and that's all part of it. But it's so important to understand that it is essential to develop these things in your brain and understand your value and your worth so that you can make decisions that are going to support that. Your sense of self-worth will be an anchor for your decisions so that you can say, is this serving me? And is this serving the people around me? Or could this potentially hurt me or the people around me? So having a solid sense of self-worth is like the foundation. And then on top of that, you have self-esteem and self-confidence, and they kind of piggyback on each other. The first step is to embrace your imperfections. Nobody in this world is perfect, and that is okay. Learn to embrace your flaws and your mistakes as opportunities for growth and for learning. It's also so important to recognize that your worth is not diminished by setbacks or failures. In fact, it's often through overcoming these challenges that we see our true strength. Another vital part of knowing your self-worth is the ability to set boundaries. As much as you may want to be everything to everyone, it's just not possible, and that's okay. It's okay to say, no, I can't do that. I can't offer that to you. It's not selfish to prioritize your own needs to protect your emotional well-being. It may feel like it at first, but setting boundaries is actually not selfish at all. You can communicate your boundaries in an assertive way and still be kind. Surrounding yourself with positive people is also going to be key. And even though this might sound cliche, it's true. Your environment shapes your thoughts and the way that you think about yourself and the way that you think about the world. Jim Rohn said, you are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And whether you believe that to be true or not, it's something interesting to think about. Who are the people that you spend the most time with? How do they think? How do they act? Do they uplift you and support you, or do they just drag you down for the most part? You want to be around people who genuinely care about you and bring positive energy into your life. And in the same regard, you want to surround yourself with people who you genuinely care about and have a positive influence in their life. It also helps to set meaningful goals that are aligned with your values and your passions. When you break those down into manageable steps and take consistent action, your self-confidence will skyrocket from the growth that you're seeing over time. A lot of times we get really focused on the end goal and getting there, the destination, right? But a lot of it has to do with the journey. The journey can be just as fun as getting to the actual goal. And even if you don't reach your goal, it doesn't mean that you're a failure. It just means that that path that you took didn't work. So you have to come up with a new one. Being able to complete goals in a certain time period is amazing, but it's not a reflection of who you are as a person and your self-worth. Acknowledge and appreciate any progress that you made, even if it's really small. Now, the most important thing that I want you to remember is you can build a sense of self-worth, but you're already worthy. You were born worthy. You are a living, breathing being on this earth, therefore you are worthy. Remember, life is all about growing and learning, and it's never too late to start. I hope this video was helpful for you. If it was, please hit the subscribe button. And with that, I'll see you in the next one.